Oscar, first of all, it is good to see you safe and sound this morning. Give us perspective of kind of what's happening in the general area where you are, and without necessarily giving up your position, put into more perspective where you are related to the fighting or related to the bombings.
We are in northern Jerusalem. We move a little bit south. We were just at the whole border with the Syrian border. Ultimately, there's a lot of fighting now in the northern borders with Lebanon. As the attacks today, they have slowed down, but just last night, it was just a complete, aircrafts that they were, air jets that they were flying consistently through the whole area, through the whole borderline. And as you can see on the footage, military consistently, it is going around the whole borders with Lebanon. Lebanon is going to escalate a little bit. We have seen a breaching. There was a couple of days ago a breaching of four radical individuals that they were neutralized by the Israeli government, trying to enter with explosives into the borders of Israel. So it is going to escalate in the northern borders of Lebanon as everybody's concentrated on the south, and the northern borders is going to escalate a little bit more. Terrence.
Yeah,
Oscar,
Gina and David, why don't you guys weigh in?
Go ahead. Sorry, Oscar. I asked you yesterday for some reaction from Israeli residents, and you delivered. Set this up for it and toss to it, Oscar, if you would.
Yes, this is an Israeli resident. He has been here more than 30 years. And ultimately, he talks about misinformation, that is the number one thing occurring to what happened yesterday with the hospital and all the propaganda that has been released by Palestinian media. And they have now the evidence that it was not Israeli IDF that a particular sent the missile into this particular hospital. It was a mistargeted missile that it was sent by these radical groups, that it did not land it on the other side of the border that it was pretended to land on the other side of the border in Israel, in Israel, and particularly in Israel, but it landed accidentally on this hospital. And this is what he commentated on.
It was a massive failure of intelligence. I think they either knew and they didn't take it seriously, or they just kind of ignored the warnings. Or, I mean, they've even talked about, people have started to come out in heads of security and in different things that there's going to be a reckoning. People have even started, some of the heads of different security, the Shin Bet, which is an internal security service, came out and said, I take responsibility for what happened here. This was a failure in our intelligence. Somebody in the Army also came out as well. In a sense, right now, the rioting that's gone on went on right as soon as it happened, even though nobody knew why it happened. And this is pretty typical. I mean, it can happen in a village that's kind of Arab, Christian, and Druze or Muslim, or it can happen in a lot of the places where people will riot even before they know the answers, because the perception is stronger than the truth. So I actually appreciate that Israel took time to check out, or did a stray missile hit it? Are we responsible before responding? But even before they even responded, even the King of Jordan said, I'm not going to meet with the President of the United States over this. And he's under pressure from his citizenry. I appreciate that, but it's important as a leader that you stand on the truth rather than on just feelings and perceptions and rumors.
And now, Oscar, you're going to have Palestinians in the Gaza Strip not forgiving Israel for an attack that they didn't commit. I mean, that's how ridiculous it is. And by the way, before we let you go, I got less than a minute, Oscar, but I've been to Israel 3 times. I've been up there to the northern portion of Israel, the Sea of Galilee, the Golan Heights. Talk to me about the strategic importance of the Golan Heights specifically, because you can oversee the Mediterranean there. It's a key vantage point.
Yes, it's military controlled. The IDF, as I was saying yesterday, more than 25,000 Israelis have been evacuated from these particular neighborhoods that they are, clearly securing, and they don't want again a 2nd of October again to happen. So they have been evacuating the Israelis to put them in a safe place. And all of those neighborhoods, all of those parts, they have been secured by IDF. They are sending all of these new tanks that they're called Markiba tanks, that they're extremely expensive. Their value is up to $3.5 million, and they have more than 800 tanks in their property, Israel, that these tanks are extremely intelligent technology. They can drop missiles, they can drop rocket launchers, and so much. They're military controlled. and they're strategically also in the mountains, digging out foxholes and everything that they can do, because they know that this is not going to end, and it's an immediate factor. They are well prepared, and they're well prepared for whatever happens in the future.